What's good, people? CJ Williams tapping in for Culturalist Theory. Today we're taking a look at Queensbridge's finest Mobb Deep albums, ranking all 8 of them from worst to first. Note, this list will not include any compilation albums, EPs, or mixtapes. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss a list, and hit that super thanks bell too to keep the lights on. We'd appreciate it. With all that being said, let's get to it. Number 8, the infamous Mobb Deep. The final Mobb Deep album, released in 2014, will be their weakest effort to date. The double disc was supposed to pay homage to the Infamous, which dropped nearly 20 years prior. Disc 1 features all new tracks, but some of them feel out of place. For example, the track Legendary, with appearances from down south artists Juicy J and Bun B, was baffling. Another feature-heavy joint, Henny, with Busta Rhymes, Mac Wilds, and French Montana, was also a colossal miss. With new material on Disc 1, the second CD contained unreleased songs from the Infamous sessions not previously heard. Overall, you can chalk this album up as a bad example of how not to fall from grace after a successful run as a dynamic duo. Number 7, Juvenile Hell. The debut album from the duo was released in 1993, and the results were so-so. The record is often forgotten in their extensive catalog, as Havoc and Prodigy were only teenagers when this album came out and hadn't yet found their identity or grown into their distinct voices that would turn them from underground kings to household names. Therefore, some songs on the album would lack the clarity that would make the follow-up such a success. The 2 singles, Hit It From The Back and Peer Pressure, were straight, and Locked In Spoffer was also alright. However, this album did not chart at all on the Billboard 200 and also caused Mobb Deep to get dropped from their label 4th and B-Way and Island Records. Despite the disappointment, the group still showed promise, as there would be higher quality music to come. Speaking of higher quality music, Prodigy carved out a nice solo lane for himself starting in 2000 with HNIC, then later teaming up with Alchemist for several albums and mixtapes. Let us know in the comments, what's your favorite solo Prodigy project? Also, it looks like his first posthumous album is on the way as well. Think we'll wait on that before we get started on his Prodigy list. Cool? Number 6, Blood Money. In 2005, Havoc and Prodigy were free agents and signed with 50 Cent's G-Unit Records later that year. This would make a lot of sense considering both camps repped Queens and both had similar styles with their gangster-type lyrics. Mobb Deep would drop their 7th album, Blood Money, in 2006, and let's just say it was all over the place. The inclusion of G-Unit members was somewhat effective and somewhat not. For example, Creep and Pearly Gates, both featuring 50 Cent, work, while Give It To Me featuring Young Buck and Stole Something with Lloyd Banks missed the mark. The standout joint on the album would be the reminiscent record Daydreamin', where Hav and P reflect on their life leading up to that point, not knowing that this would be their last album for more than a decade. In that time, Prodigy focused on his solo career, while Havoc went on to produce for other artists. Number 5, Infamy. The 5th album from the group would drop in winter 2001, however, it was a series of events leading up to the release that would have people talking. For starters, Prodigy had gone solo and released an album a year before. He would also get tied up in a beef with Kings of New York, Jay-Z and Nas. His beef with Jay is more prominent, as Hov put Prodigy on blast on the now infamous Summer Jam screen, following that up with the classic Takeover diss record. The group would respond on the track Crawlin', but that's not the only track that deserves attention. The singles, The Learning and Hey Love, Anything with 112 were dope, and also Getaway was smooth. However, a majority of the album is pretty much quiet, as outside of those songs, only Live Foul has any replay value. This album would be certified gold, but it's hard not to notice some of the deficiencies, as it seems that this project did not have the same firepower as some of the group's previous efforts. Number 4, America's Nightmare. After nearly 3 years of remaining quiet as far as dropping music, Mobb Deep returned in 2004 with America's Nightmare. The album was actually a nice effort, as songs like Got It Twisted, Real Gangsters, Throw Your Hands in the Air, produced by Kanye West, and Win or Lose would be definite highlights on the album. Both P and Hav seem more direct on this project, and it shows with some of their signature flows and stellar production handled by the likes of Alchemist, Red Spider, Lil Jon, and Havoc, as well as the aforementioned Kanye West. This was a successful return, as the album did well on Billboard, peaking at number 4 and moving 109,000 copies its first week, eventually reaching platinum status. Although not as talked about when mentioning popular Mobb Deep albums, Hav and P showed out on this one and let everyone know that they were not done yet. Before we get to the top 3 albums from the MOBB, where would you rank them in the list of best groups of all time? Top 10? Top 5? Shit, maybe top 3? Let us know in the comments, and now that I think about it, sounds like a list to me. Might have to get started on on that one. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it when it drops. Okay, back to the list. Number 3, Hell on Earth. Fresh off of dropping a critically acclaimed sophomore album, expectations were sky high, and it was safe to say the Mobb delivered. Not as smooth or completely straight through as the infamous, Hell on Earth contains some of the darkest and in-depth production out of their catalog. The subject matter would follow the same pattern as they still continue the gangster rap that will become a benchmark of their style. However, the themes and premise of this album are far from their previous effort. Several joints worth revisiting on this album include Bloodsport, God Part 3, Still Shining, Get Dealt With, and Apostle's Warning. But it would be Drop a Gem on Them that was the standout. The record is a diss to West Coast icon Tupac Shakur over his controversial Hit 'Em Up, in which Pac mentioned Prodigy's battle with sickle cell disease. Due to the track being released after Pac's death in September '96, the song didn't quite land, but Prodigy did deliver a stinging verse on that joint, we can't deny that.
Rikers Island flashbacks of the house you got scuffed it in. You would think that getting your headshots enough, but then.
Likewise, Hell on Earth was a solid effort and captivated audiences with a darker but effective sound. Number 2, Murda Muzik. Released in 1999, this is the album that would make Mobb Deep a mainstream act. Backed by singles like USA and It's Mine, featuring a chorus and verse from Nas, this album coasted to platinum status and sold more than 2 million records. This album is packed with the hardcore sound that would become associated with Havoc and Prodigy exclusively. Joints like Where Your Heart At, Thug Music, and The Realest, featuring a killer Cool G rap verse, became the highlights on the project. However, the best track would be the Prodigy solo Quiet Storm. P delivers some of the best bars of his career over a Havoc-produced beat with a menacing piano loop, thunderstorm sound effects, and crisp drums. And how can we forget the remix featuring a classic Lil' Kim verse?
Hot damn ho, here we go again. Light as a rock, bitch, hard as a cop, bitch.
For the album, this would serve as a steady reminder that the group had not lost a step in their mark on hardcore hip-hop and would continue on their streak of great albums starting from 1995. Number 1, The Infamous. At the time of this album's release in 1995, East Coast legends like Nas, the Notorious B.I.G., and the Wu-Tang Clan had already dropped classics. Next up to bat was Mobb Deep, and they did just that with The Infamous. The album was the complete opposite of a sophomore slump, as the street narrative ability of both Havoc and Prodigy was on full display. There are no skips on this album. Bangers include Survival of the Fittest, Trife Life, Give Up the Goods, featuring a scene-stealing Big Noid verse, and posse cuts like Right Back At You with Ghostface and Raekwon, and Eye for an Eye, also featuring Raekwon with Nas. We all remember the anthem Shook Ones, as it is a hip-hop staple that made this album have crazy replay value. It was also featured in the famous scene from the film 8 Mile starring Eminem. Another track worth mentioning, Temperatures Rising, is a tribute to Havoc's brother, Killer Black, who was murdered some years before the album in a failed robbery. The Infamous is not only the top album in Mobb Deep's catalog, but also serves as one of the best hip-hop albums of all time. Yo, that's it for our list today. Let us know, did we get it right? Hop down in the comments, tell us your ranking of Mobb Deep's albums. So do your boy a favor, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss a list. Check out our other group lists like these. Until the next time, I'm CJ Williams, I'm out.